In today's story, we bring to you Batman and Demon, a tragedy. It is written by Alan Grant, illustrated by Jim Murray, and lettered by Clem Robbins.
Prologue. In this world, Gotham City is an exotic place filled with Gothic structures rising miles high in the air, glittering in the moonlight. However, even in this place, human nature had succumbed to its usual bottomless pit. A group of thugs wearing wolf masks attacked an old man for his valuables, threatening to end his life if he didn't give up his money. However, someone walked up behind them. It was a creature from hell, the demon Etrigan himself. He taunted the thugs and called them cowards. The thugs started firing. Etrigan jumped on them. He slashed open one of their faces, drove his claws through another's head, and the last one he hurled into the wall, and then ate his face. The old man was traumatized. He was shaking in fear. Etrigan warned him not to divulge what happened to anyone, or else the man would meet a brutal death. As the man prayed to the heavens to protect him, Etrigan vanished into the shadows, laughing. Chapter 1. Bruce Wayne woke up in his manor. A strong stench of blood was upon him. Alfred asked if he slept well, to which Bruce replied that he had blood-curdling nightmares. He attributed that to the fact that his parents were killed in front of him in his childhood. Maybe that trauma was with him even now. Alfred pacified him. He said that it was due to Bruce's allergy to moonlight that he had to stay locked up during the night. Bruce was clearly frustrated, as the best doctors couldn't help him till date. He just hoped that his love Glenda could find a healer for him. Saying that, he went to fetch his clothes from the cupboard, but he found that all of them were tattered. Alfred assured him that he'd take care of it, which made Bruce give out a sigh of relief. The doorbell rang. Glenda was at the door, and Bruce became elated like a child. At the grisly murder site, Gordon and his men investigated the scene. It was another murder in the series of killings that was taking place in Gotham, and bodies were getting piled up. The men in wolf masks were ripped to shreds, and the old man, the only witness, could say nothing. Gordon made a promise to himself that he was going to catch that maniac. Meanwhile, at the manor, as Bruce and Glenda kissed, she pointed out that Bruce looked very pale. She mentioned that she had found a healer living closer to the city bottom, and she was going to take Bruce there. As they walked down the hall, they saw portraits of Bruce's ancestors, who looked uncannily like Bruce. Bruce mentioned to her that it was just a matter of strong family resemblance. Bruce paid his respect at his parents' grave while leaving, when Glenda brought up a strange thing. She had gone to the city hall to research Bruce's illness, and surprisingly, she found no records of Bruce's parents. Bruce waved off that concern by saying that maybe some files were misplaced by the inefficient bureaucrats. They quickly made their way to the healer. The healer was none other than Ivy. Bruce told her that his sickness was due to the mental trauma of his parents' death, but Ivy sensed an evil emanation. Bruce whiffed at her, saying that Gotham science had proven the inexistence of the occult, to which Ivy replied that there was more to Bruce than met the eye. She gave him a powdered herb and asked him to mix it with water and take it at bedtime, then report back to her in the morning. As Bruce and Glenda left, they planned about their happy future. That evening, Killer Croc screamed at his men. He was clearly frustrated that his men were getting ripped to pieces and their robberies were getting thwarted. Man or demon, he feared no one. He introduced his team to the special help he had hired to take down the killer, a woman who had sold her soul to the demon, Catwoman. For 100 pieces of gold, she promised to destroy the killer. That night, Alfred was a bit skeptical about Bruce's use of Ivy's potion, but Bruce said that he would clutch it. Anything to ensure his and Glenda's future was secured. As Bruce drifted off to cold slumber, Alfred locked the door from outside. Chapter 2. That night, Catwoman tracked down Etrigan and attacked him as he was feasting on one of Croc's men. She slashed his face with her claws. Etrigan fired his demon bolts, but she dodged them, and then jumped in and slashed his hands. Etrigan understood that he was not at his full night. There was something sapping at his strength, and he was not able to hit her. Simultaneously, at that very moment, Bruce started getting vivid nightmares of the ongoing combat. Etrigan deduced that the potion that Ivy gave to Bruce was giving him weird thoughts and affecting Etrigan instead. So he decided to escape, to continue his hunt another day. As he flew off, Catwoman howled at the sky. While Bruce was still trapped in the visions between reality and dream, Etrigan attacked Ivy and killed her. Next morning, Bruce confronted Alfred and said that he had dreams of Etrigan fighting with Catwoman. He demanded to know what was wrong with him. Alfred pressed back, saying that it was Ivy's potion that fevered Bruce's mind. But Bruce pressed further. He had to know about the missing records of his parents and the devil that haunted him. Alfred solemnly gave in. He revealed that Bruce was the human cage for the bloodthirsty bat demon, Etrigan. He revealed the history of Gotham to him, which once steeped in magic and superstition. Chapter 3. Life. 1,000 years ago, Gotham was attacked by the armies of Metropolis, who left nothing but death in their wake. With Gotham's army failing, the city council hired the magician Merlin to conjure a demon from hell and unleash it on the armies of Metropolis. Even when Merlin warned them, they decided to go ahead with it. So Merlin summoned Etrigan from hell and deployed him in the warfield. Etrigan obliterated the armies of Metropolis, but later, Etrigan told the city council that he could not be sent back to hell, and he would keep killing indiscriminately to control its bloodlust. Merlin said that he could only cage the demon inside a prison of flesh and blood, since Councillor Lane had insisted to summon Etrigan in the first place. He gave his body up as sacrifice. With the demon inside him, he became immortal and had lived for thousands of years. He was Bruce by day and Etrigan by night. Touched by Bruce's human side, Etrigan only killed evil people while on loose. The memories of Bruce's parents were false, imprinted into his mind by magic. Bruce pointed out that Etrigan had killed Ivy, who was a healer and a good person. Alfred said that Etrigan was turning purely evil as his power was growing with each generation. He would be unstoppable once he escaped Bruce's body. When Bruce asked how Alfred knew all these, Alfred revealed that he was Merlin the magician. He was guilt-ridden by his own actions, so he kept watch over Bruce for over a millennium. Bruce gathered his senses and promised Merlin that he would give his best to rid himself of Etrigan and become a normal man again. He owed this to Glenda and their future together. Chapter 4. Death. Bruce went to see for himself as Gordon investigated the scene at Ivy's house. He was shocked, witnessing the brutality of the murder. He told Gordon that Ivy was his healer, and he visited as soon as he heard the news. Gordon told him that he had planned to lay traps for the killer. Bruce left, saying he had to lay traps of his own. He met Glenda, kissed her, and asked her to pray for him. He promised her that they would be together soon. That night, Bruce asked Merlin to keep him awake with his magic. In order to be in control, he had to experience the full horror of Etrigan. As Merlin chanted the incantation, Etrigan broke through Bruce's flesh and materialized. Etrigan told Bruce that he was going to slay his foes and then come back and kill the ones who knew about him. Promising this, he broke through the manor wall and jumped into the night. Chapter 5. Conflict. Etrigan directly tracked down Catwoman and Croc's thugs and rained hellfire on them. He jumped on Catwoman and hit her and broke her face. As she spurted out blood, he pulled clumps of hair out of her head. Bruce witnessed everything in his mind, and he was in absolute horror. Etrigan bolted her, pulled her up by her hair as she bled. On the other hand, Merlin screamed at Bruce to concentrate on controlling Etrigan. But alas, before Bruce could do anything, Etrigan opened his mouth and blew hellfire on Catwoman's flesh, burning her head to the bones. Bruce screamed in anguish. Croc and his men gathered up on Etrigan, but he burned most of them, leaving only Croc alive. Croc boasted that he had the strength of 10 men and he feared no demon. Etrigan replied that his strength would not help him from not burning. He hurt Croc with his hellfire and threw a large brick at him and broke his jaw. As he was about to put Croc out of his misery, Gordon and his men surrounded him and ordered him to give in. Bruce watched everything in horror. As Gordon's men opened fire, Etrigan used Croc as a shield. While the bullets perforated Croc, Etrigan threatened Bruce directly, promising to kill him and Glenda once he killed the rest. Saying this, he burned down Gordon and his men with hellfire. Bruce had failed. He cried out to Merlin that Etrigan was going for Glenda next, and he had to stop him somehow. But Merlin said that there was no way Bruce could do that, as he was a mere mortal and Etrigan had grown too powerful. Bruce asked what if he killed himself, to which Merlin replied that it would just free Etrigan from his cage and he would wrought hell upon the world. Merlin suggested that the only way to save Glenda was the spell of imprisonment and forgetfulness. Etrigan would be caged again and would forget everything about Glenda, as Bruce would forget it too. Sacrificing his love in order to save Glenda's life, Bruce told Merlin to cast the spell on him. Merlin completed his spell and said, "It is already done." Epilogue. The next morning, Alfred woke Bruce up from his sleep and greeted him a good morning. He asked Alfred if anything had happened while he was asleep. While serving the morning tea, Alfred replied that there was a mass murder the previous night, where Croc and his gang were killed. Also, the commissioner and his men were murdered. And finally, a certain lady named Glenda had been killed. Glenda? Bruce said, trying to recall who she was. He finally settled with the thought that he did not know anyone named Glenda, never knew anyone with that name at all. The spell had worked, the demon was caged, the love was lost, and in the end, even memories didn't remain.
Buy this book if you loved it. Like, share, and subscribe for more.